We're here at the Indy Card Exchange to see Andy. He was so gracious, stayed open. He's got some family commitments tonight. I'm so excited to talk with him. The Jordan bar, I can't wait to see it. It'll be our first time in his store. This guy is an OG in the hobby, does business the right way, and I can't tell you how excited I am. Come on inside, let's go check it out. I've got to pray they don't have traffic cams. I'm in trouble. I said, there's no way I'm missing this guy. He stayed here. My back is sweating like you can't believe.
Man, no,
we got no AC in the truck.
Are you kidding me?
From California. We got no AC. It took 3 days to figure out how we get AC. You ready for the trick? You got to hit the brake. What brakes are you hitting driving on the highway from California? None. I figured that I had a cold Celsius on the back of my neck. It stayed cold about 30 minutes. So.
Are you kidding me?
No.
What'd you guys buy?
That whole truck is full. You can't fit a wet fart in there.
Wax,
both. But you can't fit anything in there. Nothing. Zero.
I rented a U-Haul for a collection 2 weeks ago and picked it up, but it wasn't. I could fit a couple wet farts in there. So it wasn't as tight as that one, just so you know.
Dude, your store's amazing.
Thank you.
This is
the Jordan bar and everything.
I love this. I love what you guys do. This is amazing. So, real quick, tell us, when did you start collecting?
10 years old, so 1988.
Love that.
Yeah.
What was your PC?
I still am PCing Jordan cards. So inserts, like rookies, all that kind of stuff, I've PC'd since. I still have some of the cards. I have the same 88 Fleer card that I pulled when I was 10 years old. It's in my collection still.
My kind of guy.
Yeah.
What made you want to change it from a hobby to a business?
Because I saw the need for a good business opportunity in Indianapolis. And the owner of the shop gave me that opportunity to buy it from him because he was ready to retire. And it's just, the rest is history. Back in 2012, that's when I bought it. And Andrew Luck was coming to Indianapolis too, so that was another drive for owning the business and actually having a card shop. Yeah. But it's been a dream of mine since I was a little kid.
Really?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, how about your kids? Are your kids loving it?
Yeah, I've got a 17-year-old son. He works for us part-time. He plays football, so he's not been able to work as much lately. And then 3 girls they love being a part of the shop. I don't know how much they love the actual card side of the business.
Shout out to my daughters. They're the same.
They want to rip Pokemon cards and spend more money than I can actually earn to pay them. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
Exactly. I'm in the same boat, man.
Right?
I'm in trouble. So this store, I can't even describe to you how amazing it is. I love their layout. This is a tremendous combination of old school card store and modern. So the bar, super modern. I love the discount stuff right around here.
Thank you.
I love the tables with people sitting down. I love the signed jerseys. Load of wax. There's nothing that you could want if you came in here that they wouldn't have. It's.
I was able to do let's strip this thing down to the studs and make it a dream project, right? Mm-hmm. What's the ideal card shop that we would want if we were walking in for the first time? So it's kid friendly, adult friendly, the right demographic friendly of whether you're spending $10 or $10,000, which we've had both of those today. It's crazy.
I think what my favorite part of what he just said is what he wanted as his dream card shop, not the cookie cutter that seems to be getting pushed on us so much.
Right.
So I love this. This is.
Thanks, man.
Is that all old wax?
It is.
Oh, that's like
old wax.
Is that like 94 Fleer Ultra?
It is 94 Fleer Ultra.
Oh my God.
We literally just got that box last week in a collection.
The good old days, man.
Scoring Kings and Power in the Key.
Yep.
Yeah, those are the MJs that I still love to this day. I just never lost the passion for good. Nobody makes cards like they did in the 90s, right? 90s basketball, 93 to 99.
Yep.
Best.
Yep.
The best.
Yep, the best.
No doubt.
So, 2012, you take over the store. Mm-hmm. Okay. You went through, in 2012, I think you'll attest, it wasn't always like this. No. It was a grind. It was work.
It was a lot of work. And I kept my other full-time job for 5 years so that I made sure this shop stayed financially stable. That guy that just left is our backbone of the shop. He's my GM, Jake, but he doesn't like to be in the spotlight. Mm-hmm. So he's been with me for 10 years now, and he's the engine, and I do the face of the franchise, if you will.
Yep.
But, we almost had to close the shop down in 2014 because we just got blistered with product and that we lost 50% of our money within about a month. Remember 2014 Topps Chrome?
Oh,
football?
Like it was yesterday.
The shop was almost has been that 1 year. It was bad.
It was
We've ridden the waves of this hobby for the last 12 years, and it's fun. I wouldn't trade it for anything, man.
So 2019, we're supposed to open March 14th, 2020. The Pennsylvania shut down March 12th. I called my wife. I said, honey, hold on. We might lose everything we have. That's really in my heart what I thought. How did you feel when things started shutting down?
when everybody zigs, you have to zag, right? So we became a breaker during shutdown. Okay. I didn't have any really desire to be a breaker at all, but when you got to, when life gives you lemons, right? You got to make the lemonade, and we did. We went online and we streamed for like 10 straight weeks, and it kept us afloat. And we were able to get enough product, and we still had product in the shop. They're like, okay, if it doesn't come in, we can at least make ends meet for the next, 12 weeks, 18 weeks. I mean, Jake's like he's the planner, right? Mm-hmm. He's type A, and we hammered out a plan of here's what we have to do to make this thing work. And it worked, and then who would have thought what 2020 would do?
Unbelievable.
And what the COVID era would do to cause the market to boom the way it did too.
Mm-hmm. So now prices have come way down, kind of normalized, right? How has that impacted your business?
I mean, so margins are tighter on wax, right? And margins are going to always probably stay that way for as long as like Fanatics and Panini kind of have their handle on the marketplace. So what do? We all have to kind of do the things that we know we can control as a business. And, we do a lot of singles flipping, buying, selling, grading. The grading piece of it, we do actually online or in-person grading for our customers. And then we do like a filter process. We grade the cards ahead of time for $2 or $3 a card, send off the stuff that they should grade, let them not send the stuff that they shouldn't, saves them a bunch of money. Just those kind of things. You have to be able to monetize a lot of those type things to make up for the lack of margins that we have now, right? We're spoiled for what we had for 2020 and 2021, so I'll never complain, ever. I'm blessed beyond what I can ask for. But the market's different now. I love that there's new people. I mean, I think our number of customers on a daily basis is higher than it ever has been. We're just not selling boxes at the margins that we used to. So we have to adjust.
Well, for the record, he's very humble. I'll say we weren't lucky. We were fortunate, but we were doing cards before it was cool to do cards.
True.
So sometimes you create your own luck, right? You're right place, right time, and it is what it is. You fought through all those tough times, and you were rewarded, and you deserve it.
Yeah, my favorite thing was like during COVID. We're very faith oriented. We're at church, and everybody knew that I owned a baseball card shop. And so they reached out to me and said, hey, we know you have a baseball card shop. We want to let you know that we'd be happy to donate to your family to make sure you guys make ends meet. I said, no, please. Things are okay right now for us. Take that money to somebody else and make sure that, they're blessed and they're taken care of. You know what I mean? So it's cool stuff. Those are the kind of stories that you can look back 50 years down the road and be like, this was a game changer, right?
So we're in this really weird time right now. Things are up, down, sideways. We have a lot of questions. I'm sure you do too.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
What advice would you give somebody who just wants to get into the business now with all the changes going on and all the uncertainty?
I mean, the first thing I'm going to say is lean on the people that you trust. That's what I've helped a lot of shops recently in the last 2 years get up and running, and it's hard for them. It's really hard for them. It's nationwide. It's a tough process, right? But if you trust the people that are giving you the right advice that have been there and done that, I think that's a huge step in the right direction. You got to be able to lose money to make money too. I tell Ryan Bannister at RBI Crew in St. Louis, one of my best friends. Oh, you stopped at RBI?
That's where we were this morning.
I love it.
We didn't get to see Ryan. We saw Neil when we were at Tyson.
Okay.
He was 3 doors down at the dentist.
Of course he was. No, I'm just kidding. Ryan's one of my best friends in the hobby. I love the guy to death, and we lean on each other to try to kind of support each other and make sure that we have built a foundation for the hobby. And it's not just him. There's several other shops throughout the country that I have the utmost respect for. And that's what I always think, like, how can we pass that on to the next generation of hobby shop owners and entrepreneurs that want to have a hobby shop? Because it's not nearly as easy now as it was 5, 10, 15 years ago, right? We have a lot of overhead and we have thin margin. So you gotta be willing to lose money on stuff in order to make money on the other, and just hope that the macro, percentage is a positive right now.
I could talk to this is my kind of guy. I could talk to this guy for hours. We talked to Mitch at the bullpen for 4 hours.
Mitch is awesome. Yeah, Mitch is a genius. Like, he's a genius and a rock star in this hobby. Like, he's one of those top, like, Mount Rushmore type guys. Rob Veras at Burbank, right? Those are guys that we're spoiled to be able to have them to look up to. It's weird feeling like a mentor in this industry because I'm only 45, but like there's still those guys. There's a guy in Ohio, Ron Flory at Triple Play, one of my favorite guys in the hobby.
Yep.
He flies under the radar, but people don't realize how great he is and stuff. So just people like that, always lean on those kind of people because we all still need advice, even though we're an established card shop.
We're going to come back to this area. We are definitely coming back here, and hopefully I can get some more of his time. This guy is amazing.
Happy to.
Please follow, follow his journey. Come to his store if you're in the area.
Check out the Jordan bar. 1,000 different Jordan cards over there on top of the bar. That was my passion project to kind of show off. Not show off, I shouldn't say it in that way because I try to be humble, but like put a tribute to MJ and the kind of stuff I've collected since I was 10 years old.
And you clearly don't care about the value of the cards because he's put them literally in the bar.
There's some big ones in there.
He cares more about showing them off than he does the value. That's amazing. So thank you so much.
What a fun journey for you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck to you. That's what these are, is original Notre Dame Stadium brick. Yeah, the best part about everything that we have here from the history perspective is the Jordan bar is all original Jordan cards, and then the brick below it and on this wall are original bricks from South Bend, Indiana, Notre Dame Stadium from 1920s. I think it was 1930 to 1995 until they toward half the stadium down to be able to rebuild the new part of the stadium. So it's pretty fun stuff, man. It's history inside the card shop. That's why I said, like, we got to customize this to what a card shop should look like and feel like, right?
Andy is one of the coolest people in this hobby. He was so nice, so gracious to us. I can't wait to rock this Nike long sleeve. This is awesome. Their store is so clean. It's such a mix of modern but old school card store. I love the discount boxes that are laying out, sitting around a table, but then you've got the modern Jordan bar, and the story behind the brick is second to none. I love the history behind the Jordan bar and all the bricks around it, along with the brick on his wall. This guy is a diehard Jordan and Notre Dame collector. We share some really great stories. I could talk to him for hours. I'm so excited to come back here, and thank you so much, Andy. We really appreciate it. Guys, we are here in Indiana at Best Card Shop. They started as Best Card Breaks, then they opened a store. We got really good reviews from Andy, so I'm really excited to go in. Come on, let's go take a look. Zach, Jacob,
Joe.
Got it. All right, guys, we are here at the Best Card Shop. You guys started off as Best Card Breaks.
That's right, yep.
I'm with Zach, he's the manager.
Yep.
And Zach, tell us how long you've been collecting.
Since '94.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't look that old, but I've been around a long time. So actually, my dad used to go to a barber shop, and I first started getting cards at 5 years old in a barber shop.
That's awesome.
So off and on since '94.
What sport do you love the most?
Baseball.
Baseball. Mm-hmm. And who do you collect?
I PC Tampa Bay Rays cards.
Oh, nice.
But everything's for sale.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
There's always big cards, but they're all for sale. They all have a price.
So you've been collecting for a long time. You've got a really cool PC. How long have you been doing cards like for a job as opposed to just a collector?
I started off part-time 2019, got way too big for just myself. Mm-hmm. And Nick was kind of in the same boat, and Joe was kind of in the same boat. And we combined forces, and Nick bought a building, and here we are.
Oh, you guys own this?
Yeah, the building's ours.
That's awesome. Yep. I love that. Wow, that's terrific. So you guys combined forces? How did that happen? Walk us through that.
I worked a full-time job as well back then, and I was way too busy. I was working 80 hours a week with my real job and then doing cards on the side. And an opportunity came up, and Nick's like, so if I buy a building, will you manage it? And I was like, you need my wife's number is what you need. So we all figured it out, and I left my career, and now I do something we love to do.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's not really a job anymore. It is, but it's not.
What a great story. That's tremendous.
It's a lot of fun.
So when did you guys get in here?
April 15th of last year is when we opened the door.
So what were you guys doing between 19 and then?
All online breaks.
All online, but all individual. Like you guys were?
All individual.
Okay, and then you guys decided to team up a year and a half ago?
We made the decision around November of 2022.
Okay.
So that's when we got the building, and we're starting to, do everything to it to make it a card shop, and then I slowly stopped breaking and started working for Nick. And then Joe was about the same time, completely stopped breaking and started breaking for Nick.
Nice.
So I was doing all the inventory type stuff, and he was doing all the breaks.
And where do you guys do your breaks?
Right there.
Oh, what platform?
We actually have our own app.
You have your own app.
We own and operate our own app.
We have our own app.
Who was behind that?
Uncommon is the technology company.
Gotcha.
The Uncommon app.
Oh, nice. So you guys use Tom and Ryan.
Yes, Tom and Ryan's app, yeah.
Nice. Just a guess, because I built my business on Facebook too. I feel like we're not dinosaurs, but you know what I mean. And
it feels like it.
Yeah, right. The hard
way of doing things.
I've had such a difficult time. I tried 3 different times to go web-based, and I got such resistance from the customers. I would bet that your main demographic is like 35 and up, married kids, and it's not like the younger people using technology. They're just used to Facebook.
The younger people like to think they want immediate satisfaction.
Yep.
So they like the live auctions on the other platforms and stuff, and people that break at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning on TikTok or whatnot. But again, our demographic is they're fine with 10 p.m.
Did I hit it on the head? Is that what your demographic?
Yeah,
we
get a mix.
That's great.
So
tell us about the store. Everybody chip in on the design. What was that like?
No, so Nick did a lot of this himself. He'd run some ideas by us. The wax wall here. One thing that
this is really unique, by the way.
Yeah. So if you walk into just any card shop, a lot of the wax is behind the counter, and people that are new to the hobby may be intimidated, like walking in for the first time to a card shop in 20, 25 years, about asking what's in a box.
Okay.
Well, we give you the opportunity to just go read the box.
Oh.
So it's no pressure. It's a no pressure zone. You just walk up, spend 3-4 hours in here if you want. Read all the boxes you want.
Gotcha.
And
So,
get all the information just by looking at the box.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. That's a really good point. So instead of saying, hey, what can you get in this elite box, or instead of them going through their phone,
correct.
Now the conversation's more like, hey, I know this is one autograph. Which one of these do you prefer?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
That is pretty much that's like the number one question we get.
So when you guys set this up, is there any rhyme or reason to the layout?
Yeah, so the first 2 are new releases or newer releases. Then you go into tops. We used to have 2 cases of Bowman, but we break a lot of Bowman, so we're down to 1 case of Bowman. Then we have soccer and hockey together, 2 cases of football, 2 cases of basketball, and then we have our Star Wars and a whole bunch of Upper Deck stuff down there, and Marvel, and then an entire section of Pokemon, then combats on the end with racing.
That's awesome. This is a really great idea, very unique. I've never seen another store like this.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your singles business. Is it mostly, what do you sell the most of? Is it mostly local stuff? Do you have buyers?
No, it's just trending players, honestly. It changes all the time. All the time. Like Otani and Judge are pretty high in MVP rankings right now, so their cards naturally just filter out of here.
Interesting.
And we have a pretty big Pacers and Colts fan base here, and they do PC those cards, but I still wouldn't say we sell more Richardson than Stroud.
No.
So,
wow.
Which is weird because we're in the same division. Right?
I would never guess that.
And that's, I think, a lot of what it is now too. Is outside of like the ones that are truly collecting, you have a lot of dual collecting happening nowadays.
Interesting.
It's not just, hey, I like the Brew. Like for me, I'm a Brewers fan. My Brewers card. I mean, I'm like Zach. Everything has $1, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
if you come in at the end of the day, you offer me something I can't, say no to. Here you go. It's
I'm
yours.
not that attached.
They're at the end of the day, it's cardboard. It's a commodity. But I don't think the days of just like collecting because you like a team. There's a lot of that plus, because now you really have to subsidize in the hobby now. If you learn how to do that and like subsidize with your collection to build your collection and have fun on the other side of things with breaking boxes, like the hobby can be so fun.
Wow, this was one of my favorite pieces since we've gone on this journey, because he hit the nail on the head of so many things I've been saying, where I look at it as people just don't collect anymore, they're in it to gamble. I mean, I think if you take that mentality, maybe you'll want to reinvest some of the money that you've made back into something that you really like, because it's essentially free, right? You've taken money that you've made and now you buy something that you really like. So that was a really great answer. Thanks for sharing that. So one of the things we experience is that if the player was a rookie before 2020, all the newer people who really push these prices up, they don't really have any interest in them. So I'm looking over here and I see a Manning jersey.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan. I always have been, whether it was just the way he conducted himself on the field, Then he gets into becoming a personality, and I think he's hilarious. I think he's really terrific.
Yeah, Manning's awesome.
But we don't have anybody coming in asking for Mike Schmidt, Peyton Manning.
They do here.
They do.
Yeah.
So you guys have.
On that too.
Let's hear it.
I think the other part of it is as the hobby's growing, like at the end of the day, Manning has 15 years of cards. So like even if I like something and I don't want to pay the price of a rookie product, like I can just buy something different. There's 15 years of it, right? Like, so outside of some of the guys that caught a ton of hype when the hobby was blowing up, like LeBron and some of the basketball guys, like I think some of your older players, one, they don't have the inflated prices of COVID, like in general, right? Like 2020 quarterbacks, no matter what, Burrow, Herbert, Tua, those guys are always going to be more expensive.
Yeah, they'll never bottom out.
They're never going to bottom out like, Baker did, stuff like that. Like, they're just not going to because people aren't going to buy something at $1,000 and just go, well, I'll get rid of it for $100.
Yeah, that was huge when I started. A lot of people started in 2020.
Yeah. So, and I think that goes a long way with some of those guys. Like, because, we talk about all the time when it comes to baseball. Like, you have a guy like Trey Turner, who we all know Trey Turner. And, like, you look at his prices and you're like, this makes no sense sometimes. But at the end of the day, like, comes down to the demand of the card and the player.
So how much do you think personality plays into?
A lot, yes. I tell people all the time, for a rookie card, if that guy has a lot of swag, the card prices stay up.
Right. Like, there's a reason Ellie's hyped. Ellie's great, but like
if they have a lot of swag, those players stay up.
Yeah, it definitely has to do with personality, being in the limelight, putting yourself front and center.
You make yourself likable to everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Ellie's constantly pointing to the fans when he's doing stuff. Acuna does the same thing. Yeah. So they're more relatable to the fan base.
Yeah. It's like actors and actresses. It also comes down to like documentaries and stuff like that. Like if they did a Trey Turner documentary 3 months from now, his cards would spike.
Yep.
Because you get more notoriety. Like a lot of people know Trey Turner, but don't like know Trey Turner.
Yeah, you get the personal side.
You're like, oh, hey, there's Trey Turner. Like hit a home run. That's cool. And then they move on, right? It's just like anybody else hits a home run. But the guy that's constantly in the front of the media, constantly at the front of the news headlines, like, there's going to be more demand for that person.
Have you guys done signings?
Here?
We did one.
Yeah. So it's not the easiest to get people in. Like we did have one scheduled for a Topps event last year, and it got canceled because Jarris was traded.
Yeah, Jarris. Well, no, he got sent. I think he got sent to the G League.
Yes, he got sent to the G League. Very short notice. But like Drew Storen, he was drafted same year as Trout, ahead of Trout, by the Nationals. He's came in and hung out and signed autographs for kids, and we talked about his bourbon company, Field of Dreams Bourbon, and got to drink a little bit and just talk about the hobby and show him his card prices compared to Mike Trout's. Put a little montage on him getting shelled. It's fun. But no, we will have more signings in here.
I experienced the same thing. That's why I was curious. So you got 3 people who have been in the hobby for a really long time. You used to shop with Andy. You have a great relationship. Andy's a great guy. You guys are 40 minutes away, right? How did you guys, all these personalities in one room, come together to form this great team? What advice would you have for other people?
Treat people right. Treat people how you want to be treated. Like when you walk into Andy's shop, it's like a family up there. It's the same thing here. We have guys that come in every single day, and they know us all by name. We know their names. And even when we were only online, even though we went years without actually meeting these people, which we eventually do, like we meet these people that we build relationships with over time. We go out to their houses and hang out with them. I went out to an awesome trip to Colorado to hang out with one of the guys that was one of my customers for a while. So if you treat people right and you stay at it and you don't overprice things and you just keep grinding, it will happen. Word gets around. That's the biggest thing in this industry. We know who to avoid and who not to avoid. We don't have to say any names, but we know. And we don't have to say names. Word gets out, And as long as you treat people right and you stay the steady track, it works out.
That's great.
I grinded every single day for years. So did Nick, and so did you.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody knows me now. Everybody knows Joe, and everybody knows Nick. So.
Yeah.
And they don't have anything bad to say about me unless it's somebody that wants a deal on a card that I won't move on, So
yeah, it definitely comes down to just treating people right.
Yeah.
Doing right by the hobby, like we all know where the hobby stands. We all understand it. Being real with people, that's the way I've always been. Being real with people, like that's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you talk to somebody who's been in the hobby for a long time, they're gonna look at a Bowman box and be like, "Oh my bejesus!" Like I remember winning for $100, and I'm like, "I do too."
It's a great
Not
example.
the same way, you know.
We have
And
a
it's
gentleman
like-
that is 5-6 months, Steve. 5-6 months back in the hobby. Collected when he was a kid in the '90s. He's back in the hobby. Steve walked in here one day, and it was a shock to him, right? And then he come up with grading questions about some Jordans from a kid when he was a kid. So that opened the door to him being okay with asking questions about why these boxes are so high. And we had to just, explain the whole COVID situation. And it's just the market. The market controls the box prices. We don't, So now Steve, just 5 months into the hobby, has a ridiculous collection.
Steve is
Has a massive collection of high dollar cards.
Yeah.
And he comes to me because I'm like the unfiltered person here, right? And what is your opinion on this? I'm like, I'll give it to you, Steve, if you want it. You know what I mean? And I do. And he appreciates me just being open and honest with him. And I'm like, sell it now, buy it in a year for half the price.
Yeah.
You sell the hot stuff now, and you buy it later. If you want a PC item, don't get it while it's expensive, Sell it now and buy it later.
That's a great point. It's really great advice.
Yeah.
It's really great advice.
We all have access to 130 point, all. Anything you want, card ladder. We can see the graph, buy in the valleys, sell at the peaks. Because somebody's always buying at the peak. It's just like the stock market.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's
just
exactly
like
like,
the stock market in
it.
a
There's a
way.
reason people lose and win in the stock market. Just be on the flip side of it.
So, since you brought up the stock market, do you have any player that you would recommend people buy right now because they're way too cheap? One name.
Way too cheap, one name.
Any sport.
I mean, in my opinion, Judge is too cheap.
Wow. I would never have guessed you'd say that.
He's front runner MVP right now, and his cards are still too cheap.
Wow. That's amazing. I would never have guessed that.
Rookie auto here, cheap.
Well, this has been awesome. I'm really grateful these guys let us come in, talk. They shared so much. We're going to take you on a tour of the store, but thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. This is going to be up on our YouTube and our Instagram.
Awesome.
We've documented this whole trip, and it's been really cool. So here we go. We walk in. It's a really clean store. Let's take a look at what they have in their first showcase. We've got vintage. We've got signed jerseys. We've got skates. Then we move in. I mean, this store is just very, very, very organized. It's very calculated. There's no overlap of different stuff. They've got everything from graded rookies to Hall of Famers, vintage. Here's some gaming right before you head into basketball. Over here, we've got some baseball. They got a lot of Cincinnati Reds, but they've got a lot of prospects. They do a lot of Bowman. Bowman has always been my favorite. I love Bowman. Got some wrestling and stuff underneath. Here we go with more current guys. Non-prospect stuff. Wow, that's amazing. Really unique. Nico Herner, game used. Cole, what size is it? One guess. I don't know. No, bigger. 12? Wow. Cole says 12. Really cool showcase here. Now we're into some packs, some higher dollar packs, which is cool. Not every shop sells packs. Oh, now we're into some real highlights. Now we're into some hitters. Now we got some hitters. Curry rookie. Last year, Topps had basketball. Cornerstones. Oh my God, that's like, that might be the original down. I don't know. No, I think it was before that. But that Cornerstones product brings back so many memories. Wow, I think it's some really nice stuff here. You don't walk into every shop and see singles of this magnitude just kind of hanging out.
Who just went yard?
We've got value sections here, so collectors of all budgets can find something that they like. We've got supplies. I could, I would really get used to these chairs. Let me just see. Let me see if it's.
Try it out.
Oh God, I'm done. Holy God! Wow, did I?
In the U-Haul, anything's better, right?
Wow, did I sink in?
Moms bring the kids in.
Oh,
They don't move.
They don't move. Ming. Wow, this is comfortable. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get up. This store is awesome. I can't stress enough how clean this store is. Great look. I really like it a lot. These guys are doing a great job. You definitely want to come and check this store out. Thanks so much for following. We really hope you enjoyed. We just finished at Best Card Shop. I loved talking to these three guys. You want to talk about roll the sleeves up, honest, tell it how it is. That's them. They got a super clean store. I love their selection. It is incredibly organized. My two favorite things about the store, I have to say two. The first is the way they have their wax displayed. I've never seen anyone else have their wax displayed like that. I really kind of like it. And I don't know, I got things going on over here. And then the other thing, how could you not love the seats? Good God almighty. If you hit the seat, forget it, it's curtains. You ain't getting up. So big shout out to these guys. They were awesome. This is the outro to this series on the road. And this U-Haul still tracking across the country. So you'll see some stories, but then there is more. We're going to have some interviews, some follow-ups, some sit-downs, and some recaps. So make sure you keep watching. It will be in our library on YouTube, and then we'll have the fun. Tune in. Thank you so much. This has been unbelievable.